Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. 2 exciting hours of pure exciting sports talk. The experts are in the house. Sports Wrap every Thursday evening, only on the big station, only on Q95. Lock it in.
Good evening, good evening. Bonsoir. It's another Thursday night and we are here. Sports Wrap. Favorite sports program. I'm Locke Sebastian and with me,
Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
And Emmanuel Loblack.
Right. So as usual, we have to give God thanks and praise. So Pastor Rodney will lead us in prayer.
Lord, we are grateful for your great grace. We thank you that you have us in the land of the living. We thank you, Father God, that your hand of mercy has been upon us. Now, Lord, as I pray for this program, I ask now that this program will be a means of encouragement, will be a means of education, a means of enlightenment. That this program, Father God, will serve the people in such a way that they will submit themselves to right living, to just living. Lord, speak to the hosts, every one of them, Father God, who will be hosting this program today, Lobby and Lockhart and Dr. Fontaine. I ask, Lord, that you will speak to them and through them, and you'll cause their conversation to be wholesome, that their listeners, Father God, will grow, that everything that they say today will find some lodging place in our heart, Lord, and that men and women who listen to Sports Rap will be the better for it. Bless them, bless the audience, and cause today to be another great program. For all of them, we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Dominica, it's game time. On or off the field, every goal, corner kick, every penalty, from cricket to football to netball to basketball, Del Magis is Dominica's number one and only all-star sports, all gear, all uniform, all access sports center. Get all your team and individual all sportswear, accessories, and fitness comfort apparel. Del Magis got it all. From Nike to Lacoste to Puma, Adidas, Psycho Bunny, Levi's, football boots in all sizes, hoses, shin guards, goalkeeper gloves, sneakers for running, jogging, walking, climbing, hiking, or tracking, softball, cricket ball, sports trophies, and all sports gear and wear. Your sports dominance begins at Del Magis. Oubliez jouer, sway, sauter, marcher, et driver, track pants, top, shorts, sports bras, in all neutral or delicate fluorescent colored sports fabrics. Only at Del Magis, proud sponsor the Sports Wrap, interactive sports review, results, analysis, predictions, and sports commentary. Del Magis, Arcade George Fifth Street, lower down from A Station for Shopping Center.
Yes, and Del Magis, they have some items that's on sale. Selected items, the sneakers, ladies' three-quarter shorts, ladies' shorts and three-quarter tights, maybe for the ladies in Salisbury, men's long pants, Nike t-shirts. It's Carnival, so nice sale by Del Magis. You can go there, as we always say, close to ACS. Sneakers on sale, ladies' three-quarter shorts, ladies' shorts and three-quarter tights, men long pants, and Nike t-shirts. And you know, guys, it's Carnival. Before we just play a song, it's Carnival time. Let's just hear the Calypso before we go to the detail of what we're going to talk about tonight.
Sibo.
will never wait until you go. Come publicly and let you know the kind of contribution you have made. Your legacy will never fade. Your constant lyrics and tempo, lift up the spirits of prose. The way you transform character, you are a real teenager. Indeed, your contribution deserves much recognition. You are never the pride of your powers while you are before you go. Before you go. The country wants you to know. Before you go. Before you go. Before you go. Oh, we appreciate this go. You are the hero. Guy so maestro. The best that we ever had. A master lyricist, champion specialist. There is so much more we can add. So battle before you go. Battle before you go. Yes, he wants you to know. Battle before you go. He runs before you go. Battle. Love and your flowers just want to show. Hey, love. You serve that before much gonna be. On you something you don't miss. You press the way you brush the news. The boy you read was not of you. Everything said you will buy us. It's only once that you gave your blast. And if a man was not your friend, you would jam him till the end. But no one can question your passion and your brilliance. So many you get a chance to help them and battle before you go. Battle before you go. The country wants you to know. Battle before you go. Battle before you go. Battle before you go. Oh, we appreciate you so. You are a real hero.
Yeah, well, that song was really dedicated to Pat Aaron, the maestro, Low Black. I spoke to him today. He sang much stronger voice, and Pat, obviously, probably how I would say, nobody in Dominica has ever written better calypsos than Pat Aaron. But tonight, we're going to be talking about the lights lobby. You already asked me about that. We're going to have a discussion about that, the lights at the Windsor Park. We also will have the CWI president, Kishore Shallow, with us at 7 o'clock, because there are a number of issues in West Indies cricket. They've named a team for some match against Afghanistan next week. 3 matches, and they named the World Cup team after, so we'll discuss that. The under 19 boy, hold on, Lobby. By the way, I don't know if you all guys saw the cricket today. West Indies, the under 19 boys this morning. So we'll talk about that as well. So we have a packed night, and
yes.
What do you say, Lobby?
Yes, Del, you've been talking about Del Najis, close to Shillingford, but it is opposite the Point Michelle bus stop.
Okay, well, Lobby, you said it, so that's good. That's good. Nothing wrong with that.
And Sebastian, and secondly, with the I'll come. Go ahead.
Okay, right. Now, guys, there's something I want to talk about, okay. Dominican people have accepted too much. I don't know. Dr. Fountain, what provider you have at your with Flow, right?
Flow.
Right. For the people in Dominica, have you noticed that 3 of the major news platform, CBS, NBC, and ABC have been moved from the TV? You haven't seen that?
Yes.
And people in Dominica are quiet about that. What I did, I called Flo, and I spoke to some lady, some Francine, whatever her name is. And the lady was rude. The lady went as far and said, "Oh, we gave you all of the charge." I said, "Ma'am, I'm paying you for a package." And she went as far as saying, "No, but I shot Digicel right now." I said, "Girl, I didn't ask you that. I am paying you every month." And not only that, these are the channels that bring soap operas. A number of people look forward to us. And we don't have that. And people are quiet. when are people in Dominica going to stop taking blows and do something about it? Because that is a nonsense, Dr. Fountain.
Did she say why? It's kind of coincidental that the key US channels are.
No, but that happened before. It's not
Oh,
only
before,
now.
okay.
No, that has been off a couple of weeks now.
Okay.
And I called, and the lady's telling me, oh, if you check, Digicel might be off as well.
So she gave no
No
reason for
reason.
it.
They said they put on what other challenge. Not only that, India and New Zealand played there before. We couldn't watch it. It wasn't on. During the test series, England and Australia, there are certain times that you have to watch football before. You notice that?
Yes.
Football is on the channel. That is American football, and you couldn't watch cricket.
Yeah.
And you're wondering what is going on in Dominica, where people are sit down, accept this crap from this provider, this Digicel, Flow, all of them do the same nonsense, man. It's really annoying and sickening. Well, Lobby, you don't have that problem.
No, Sebastian. No, that's now. That is what you have just said there is nothing new. What I know is happening in terms of payment. You got to pay for the channel. So
Well, are you right?
this thing usually happens from time to time. So it's not the first time at all. So
Well, they're pirating the thing. What I suspect, maybe they didn't pay for the thing.
I'm telling you.
And they come in a blocking a crap. But they collecting money for people. You pay them for a service. You pay them. That is what they're giving you. And you suppose, look, we have a caller. Let's take the caller. Because people accepting too much crap here. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Yes.
Good evening to the doctor.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sibo, that thing could not happen to me. It could not.
Go ahead.
I have Flow.
Right.
But I have Flow on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
My smart TV, and then I tell them put it on YouTube. So I get in ABC and everything.
So you pay some extra for that?
No. My TV is a smart TV, and I just have internet.
So she just used the Flow internet.
The Flow internet. But that is crap.
That's all.
But people cannot be paying them, and they're doing that to people. In fact, there's a joke where somebody said they were checking the 40-something, they played the TV. That's why they couldn't see it. Yeah. But the people do this nonsense and not telling people, what is that in Dominica?
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Sebastian. You have been talking about, you have become so gullible. I don't know what is, if there's a powder that has been thrown over the city.
Let's take that call. You're right, probably. A shot they give people. Good evening. You're right. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Yes, good evening.
Dr. Thompson
Yes, good evening.
and Louis. Now, with that same issue which you on there, now, we make things matters worse. We have a problem based on the problem. When you call, you have to go all through Jamaica, Trinidad.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you know that, Sibo?
Yes, I know.
And the problem you have to go all through Trinidad. Jamaica might call, and they do. And if you notice, all channel dancing, all the sport channel, is just and there's a music going on. All I know much channel,
Mm-hmm. In fact, as you said, I'll be sports channel. Between 190 and 199, supposed to be sports channel. And only two, maybe 189, and that working. None of the other channels, that's nonsense. And these people are short-changing people. And people must rise up. Too many things in Dominica where people can't accept this crap. You still there, caller? You still there? No. Lobby, hold on. We have another caller.
Yeah.
Good evening. Hold on, Lobby. Good evening.
Steve Monster, good night, and to all your guys in the studio.
Right. What's up? Happy New Year, bro.
Well, this is a very excellent issue that you raised there.
Yeah.
The abuse of these service providers as to television in particular. You have three stations, ABC, NBC, CBS.
Mm-hmm.
These are the stations that provide you and keep you up to date as to what's happening in the U.S., particularly in South Florida and those areas.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is that you have a service provider that you're paying for it and just takes it out.
Mm-hmm.
And said some, I think they on the screen they think something about because of the change of ownership or some nonsense like this, obviously. But that's not a problem. I think ERC, is it ERC that regulates these agents, these service providers?
Yes.
Yeah, they should intervene in this matter and get an adjustment in the fees. Or indicate when these services will be provided and on what channel can be provided and how soon. You cannot just make people be paying for this service. You're still paying. You have not adjusted the fees. You have removed free importance. It's not some arbitrary station, you know. This is what's happening in the United States. You want to follow up your families, your people, and so on. You want to follow up, and you just take it out. This is wrong.
And they were even rude. Even when I called the lady, she gave me some note and tell me, oh, check Digicel. I said, lady, I'm paying you. I don't know anything about Digicel. You tell me to call Digicel. She was even rude.
And this is the attitude of some of these people that are working in this at these places here. They believe as it's a favor they are doing people.
Correct.
That you are there for you to answer properly and give proper answers and so on and explain to the customers what's happening. They are still being rude on the matter.
Yeah.
I myself, I know this what's happening, and I'll have to go to the regulatory agency to deal with this matter. That's nonsense.
Of course it is. Yes, thanks. We hold on, Lobby. We have another caller. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Sebastian,
Yes.
that is a fact. And when you call them or you go to them, they have attitude. You paying so much, $100 and almost $200 a month, and now you cannot even watch nothing. Rubbish that on the television now.
Correct, that
you don't have a choice. It's just rubbish, and we don't have a choice. It's just two of them. We have is Flow and Digicel. What can we do?
You're right. Yeah, man, and this people treat all the callers, all the lights are going. People have concerns. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
See, but the biggest thing I see is Flow. They're giving you an internet service, so they're giving you a package. You have a line, you have to pay for it. You haven't got a phone, but you have to pay for the landline. When cable and wireless was around, right? Okay, they might say that is way back in the 80s. But cable, you have a problem at your home, and cables will come. And when they come, they will change your phone. I don't understand. In this day and age, I have to go and buy a phone, and I'm paying for a landline.
Yes.
But and another thing, these people, when you call them, another foreign land answering you. When I call you, are you in the land? I need to talk to you in the land. When I'm talking to you across the phone, and they need to stop that because we suffering.
Plenty.
Have a good night.
Yeah, but no, something has to be done. People cannot be paying money, and you just cut off main channels, platform, news platform, other people who like to watch their soaps, they cannot watch it. And you're talking foolish, you're still collecting money, and him rude on the back end. I mean, what is that in Dominica? Well, how much we going to take, Montier? How much?
Sebastian. Yes, Sebastian. Sebastian, when will it end? When will the ignorance of this country come to an end? When?
There's another point I'm coming to you now to talk about ignorance. Let's take this caller, Lobby. Hold on. Good evening. Good evening.
Happy New Year to you, Sibo.
Hey, what's up, my brother? How are you, man?
God, Happy New Year to the Sports Raps.
Mr. Donald, Happy New Year to you too. I need to come and see you, man. I need to come and see you.
You're alive and well.
Let me say Happy New Year to Mr. Luis and family.
Yes, I'm sure he's listening. Yes.
You Black and family.
Thanks.
Sibo, you and your family.
And Dr. Fontaine is there too. Dr. Fontaine.
Dr. Fontaine and family.
Yes, good
And
evening.
Ronald Langman, my favorite sports rap. Gentlemen, I was not too well. I tried to call last week and I didn't get to.
Well, I need to come and see you. I'll try and come and see you next week, so I'll definitely come.
You know I am there.
Right. Nice to hear you, my brother. Nice to hear you.
I'm always there and I'm always listening.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Okay, good night, my brother.
Yeah. Nobody has to talk about things. There's another issue. I understand tonight, all of a sudden, there's going to be something on TV. Now, what I know, if a leader of a country is going to have a conversation, it should be open either to the public or to all the press. I wonder why they have selected people that are going to be in that conversation. I mean, it's a nonsense. You hear press conferences and you have the same people, and it's like a big joke, and everybody's from them, people like giggling and blah, blah, blah. You have a thing tonight, and I understand you selecting who must be there. It should be open to the press, so the press should be able to ask whatever questions they want. And all this kind of things going on in Dominica, where people are taken for fools, and you say the press, we're selecting 4 people. 4 people must come, so they must ask questions, nobody else. Let's take the next caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo. As Lucille said, and myself, I do have that problem because my smart TV,
talking to it. Google TV, ABC, CBS, NBC. The only thing we doesn't get now and then is BBC and CNN. There is a subscription channel on the smart TV. And fast forward, since Ferdinand Frampton died, Flo die. Some of them staff, they believe now if they have 10 years or 15 years working there, they belong to them. And I just want to call them for the radio station sake, but that same person talking about that'll give you attitude, she from where Isaac Baptist just come from. But it's time and place for everything. She believe now because when you call, they sending you to her upstairs and she believe now she owns Flo. Me and her end up crashing for that, but tattoo. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and look, in fact, somebody's saying, I am with Gigi and they carry CBS, ABC, CNN, Fox, right. So why it is that Digicel have CBS and ABC and Flo hasn't got it? What is that? So this will probably didn't pay the people, shortchanging people, collecting people money, and they're rude. Let's take this next caller.
Yes.
1 minute, Lobby. Good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
The same lady you're talking about, she is the one in place of Ferdinand. She came in good at the beginning, but now she has an attitude. Right?
Yeah, the lady telling me a nonsense.
Matt prevents me from giving a peace of mind, and Matt doesn't want nobody to tell him nothing when he on his.
Yeah, but that can't be right. Yeah, go ahead, Lobby. You're going to say something.
Yes, Sebastian. Sebastian, what has happened to Dominica, Sebastian? You have to understand that. The exit of the medical school, Sebastian, created a rippling effect on this country. You have to understand that. You have 1,005 students using Flo, using Digicel, whatever they're using. Workers, they have retrenched. They have had a serious. So that's the problem we're having right now. That's the effect you have.
Yeah, but people are paying money, Lobby, for a package. You pay for a package. They cannot be cutting you off like that, and they're rude again. Very rude. That's the point.
Now, Sibo, you talk about a TV program. We can have all programs that we have right now. There are serious issues facing this country which we have to deal with. And
well, Dr. Fountain will be going up soon to the US because we're in trouble. And we're in trouble because a few people put us in that trouble. Not plenty, maybe about 20 of them. People were selling passports like Vola and Balau by the road. Some of them, you are in hotel being built all over the place. People buying property. A few people that did that nonsense. And when people ask about the CBI, you hear him, we build house over there. Nobody know how much money was spent, how much money have been received. It's just a nonsense in Dublin. And people, listen, a lot of people are hurting them. Students who have to go to school, all that kibosh. People who want to go in for medical. We are just in a serious state. And it's not the populace that got us in that problem. It is not the populace of Dominica, whether it is 60,000 or 50,000, whatever it is. The people that put us in the problem, and some of them don't care. We're just in a mess, Dr. Fountain.
Yes, and the people are getting the really difficult end of it. I mean, as we talked about what they're putting on us right now, and it's getting worse because yesterday they announced that they put a pause on all green card interviews. So no more interviews for green cards for the time being. Mm-hmm. And we are hearing as well that from now on, when you go to send money, if any family or any person trying to send money out of the United States is receiving any kind of welfare from the American government, Medicare, WIC, or food stamps, or any of those things, they will not be allowed to send money.
Wow, that's a serious thing.
Families outside of the US, yeah. So they're really clamping down in every single way, and the people are suffering. I mean, that's very serious. That partial ban now with that new thing is a very, very serious thing. I mean, that's creating havoc for some families.
And the other thing, Dr. Fountain, while we're creating havoc, the people who rule Dominica are still trying to prevent people from participating in the electoral process. When you tell people they have to get a passport or driver's license to register, how is that fair? And people not learning. We saw that in Venezuela, where the guy was losing the election and still saying he won. You know, I watching, you know, there are people who have been in prison for 20 years in Venezuela, you know. Political prisoners have been there because they care to speak out. And in Dominica now, and somebody have to tell these people, it is wrong to tell people, you cannot use a birth paper to vote. Why that taking so long to remove that? Why are these people so bent on doing that? People have to vote. You telling them, well, you cannot register because you don't have a license or passport. Man, come on, man. Let us be real in this place. And by the way, I didn't accuse Flo of not paying CBS something. I was just saying that some people say they're pirating. I don't know if they're doing that. So I didn't accuse them of not paying CBS. But it is just wrong to deny people that the chance to see this thing. All the lights are going. Good evening.
Yes, it's me again. I doesn't beat around the bush to tell people things. A lady tell me in tongue, yes, what day. Trump, Madame Bama break. Trump a fait travailler. Le gouvernement fait ça, il peut faire. Quitter Trump fait travailler.
You're correct, you know. In fact, I'd like to say some people are blaming Trump. It wasn't Trump that was selling passports, you know. So when Trump last year went to election, he told the people, it's America first. So if the people didn't do what the nonsense they were doing, in fact, Dr. Fountain, wasn't Dominica warned before?
Oh yes.
Dominica was warned, right?
Yes. Oh yes. They had ample warning. In fact, as they had back in June, it was an official warning. So there was ample time to make changes, and nothing was done.
Yes.
People thought the US they would not be serious. They would not take an action. I think.
We have another caller. Good evening. Hello. Hello, caller. Hello. Go ahead, Lobby. You call it.
Sebastian, first two things, Sebastian, on the issue on the CBI, Sebastian, people understand that it's getting very, very serious. They're clamping down on that. Looking that thing might just disappear on us.
Which thing? CBI?
Yeah, the
but
CBI.
But Lobby, how can it continue now? I can't see it continuing.
No, Sebastian, and
it can continue.
Yeah, I know, because when we look back, Sebastian, look, the most recent thing that happened with this hotel that was opened by a public officer. How could that happen?
And talking about the hotel, 99 point whatever percent is owned. The passport is the property of the state.
That goes on in the Guinness Book of Record.
Yeah, the passport is property of the state.
But how
people selling passport all about and buying all of Roseau?
How could that happen? Then you have a building there. What do you call it? That thing of Venus.
But you have to mention that. I have never heard of that. A building has been completed over here in the center of a city.
Over a year?
Or 2 years, and it cannot be used. And somebody must tell us why. And the center, one would have thought that they would be happy to rent the place and make money. But it looks like people are afraid to rent it.
The house, it's called the House of Dark Secrets.
This thing is just amazing, boy.
We are pregnant with issues here.
Muna said, Dominic. But really, there's too many things, man. And I'm stressing it that this, and Dr. Fountain, your party must ensure people, for the time being, people who have passports and driver's license must go and reconfirm.
Yes.
That is very important. In your caretakers areas, must take people to the thing. In the meantime, people have to fight for that. It cannot be right to tell you cannot use a birth paper to register, to reconfirm, when you could have used it to register. Why? I mean, people are done. We know why that is being done, to deny people. And you used to hear, the opposition don't want this. The opposition that was stopping CBI. The opposition didn't want CBI. Well, it's not the opposition that put in the blows on Dominicans. No, for sure. Let's take this next caller. Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Timo.
Yes.
You know the house for the Warringtons in by Julian Giro Place, yeah?
Julian, yes.
By Julian Giro Place, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Duncan's passport making big dance. Duncan's bought a house for the lady, Warrington. for $700,000.
No, you know that for a fact, caller. We have to be careful on the radio.
I know that for a fact.
Because
they also vote in Leopoldville.
We don't want to put the radio station in problems, right? We have to make
I
sure.
tell you, the house was bought in Leopoldville, I tell you. $700,000. But you speak for yourself for them. But you get what you want to build hotel. And the next thing again, I go and register. He tell me I have to bring somebody with me from my constituency. They with me. They can't confirm me. They have to bring somebody.
Which area you are voting?
Egiston.
Well, you might be able to get somebody that is registered to come with you. Don't get somebody from up there that has registered already, and the person can come with you. That's all you have to do.
But I live in Lubia.
Yeah, but just go. You might be able to get nobody. You can take somebody from Lubia that's registered. Anybody that is going, Dr. Fontaine.
The person has to be from the area. So,
okay.
So if he's confirming in Egiston, he has to get,
So, Dr. Fontaine, what do you suggest for him, this gentleman, then?
Well, if you cannot find somebody, you can contact
Hold on, caller. Listen to Dr. Fontaine a while. Go ahead.
Yes, I was suggesting that he could contact somebody from within the party, and we can arrange that for him.
Yeah,
yes,
please,
yes.
because we need to get him. Because and that is the thing, they're making it difficult for people.
I would take them already.
And now they're telling you, my goodness me, this thing is really something.
Yeah, I mean, and it's very unfortunate, But if you can contact somebody from within the party, and we'll arrange for you to somebody to come with you.
Okay. All right, caller, you hear that?
Okay.
Right. Okay. On that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll take we're going to take a break now.
It's game time. On or off the field, every goal, corner kick, every penalty. From cricket to football to netball to basketball, Del Natchez is Dominica's #1 and only all-star sports all gear, all uniform, all access sports center. Get all your team and individual all sportswear, accessories, and fitness comfort apparel. Del Natchez got it all. From Nike to Lacoste to Puma, Adidas, Psycho Bunny, Levi's, football boots in all sizes, hoses, shin guards, goalkeeper gloves, sneakers for running, jogging, walking, climbing, hiking, or tracking, softball, cricket ball, sports trophies, and all sports gear and wear. Your sports dominance begins at Del Natchez. Oubliez jouer, sway, sauter, marcher, et driver. Track pants, top, shorts, sports bras. In all neutral or delicate fluorescent colored sports fabrics. Only at Del Natchez. Proud sponsor the Sports Wrap. Interactive sports review, results, analysis, predictions, and sports commentary. Del Natchez, Arcade George 5th Street, lower down from A Station for Shopping Center.
Right.
And of course, for Del Natchez, there are several items on sale currently. There are sneakers, ladies' three-quarter shorts, ladies' short and three-quarter tights, men long pants, and Nike T-shirts. All of these are available currently at the Del Natchez store.
No, they close tomorrow.
What? It's Sunday. I'm back again. You are Ellen. Clean up the window. Fighting over a project they were making. Two girls were not playing, so I thought to see what was happening. They fighting over a song, and in a mad but before they wanted to make a project that day I will never forget. But say what you want, to what you want, that's it, shit. Let's see what you want, do what you want. Let's see what you want, do what you want. Let's see what you want, do what you want. That's the cup I want. You walk up to Ellen back, she kept advancing. People started gathering, and some of them were recording. Cell phone taking the future put a never before. They wanted to capture the moment about the corporate development. Let's see what you want, do what you want. Sing your passion. Let's see what you want, do what you want.
Well, Lobby, the lady say that is whatever she want. I don't know in the song.
Well, but people have heard a few calypsos already, but the one I love, Commissioner M. Lisa. That's my song so far.
Well, yeah, there's some controversy about it too, by the way. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that you have, if you write a song, it's okay, but once you have written the song, the writer he does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But
Well, Sandy say whatever she want. Whatever she want. I don't know. She's
that's
that.
What she wants.
Yeah, she says that she wants, so that's about for her. Right. I'll say we're going to talk about the lights. You know, guys, on Tuesday, I went to the Windsor Park because the guys have recommenced work. So I decided I was going there to see what. So I met with the person in charge. Walia is his surname. That is the son of Raj, the person who has the contract. So I said to him, I would like to invite him to Sports Rap so that he could come, or if he can't come in studio, we can have him online so he can come and explain to people what is going on. He said to me, Sir Sibo, well, he knows me because he said, Sibo, I would like to come, but we have instruction not to say anything. So I said, instruction from whom? So he said, well, it's not my father. My father would like to tell everybody. So I said to him, but you live in a country where information is given freely to people. So what is the problem in coming to tell people, well, this is what's going to be done, blah, blah, blah. He said straight, he told me straight that can't say anything. He had been instructed locally that they must not make any comments about the lights. And I cannot understand that. I don't know. What is that? I mean, it's a project where the state is paying money and you cannot hear anything.
So we can't even ask when it will be completed.
Well, I asked him that because I'll tell you what, Sri Lanka is coming to the Caribbean in July. They have 2 test matches. Pakistan is coming also in July, August. But all the matches, the first time I've seen at the Caribbean, both test matches they're playing are going to be played in Trinidad. Then New Zealand might be coming. So for you to get matches, at least you have to be able to give a timeline when you think these people will stop. Now, obviously, Carnival is going to be held in Windsor Park, so they're going to have a problem as well. So it's just a joke. But what is the big secret that you cannot tell people what is happening about in the Windsor Park? What is the problem? I don't know, Lobby.
Sebastian, you said you entered the park.
I went right on spot. I have witnesses to show. I called the guy on the side.
So just now, Sibo, first of all, they have to install the lights. So far, have you, maybe it's 4 lights that were there before, 4, 6?
Well, I think they said they want to put 4. But they're in the foundation of one closest to the commentator's booth. That's where they are now. They're using the guys who work in the Windsor Park as to help them. But I just found it strange that what is the secret of not giving information? What is the secret?
But Sebastian, this country, Sebastian, projects is just chaotic. First of all, we do not know what happened to the first, it was what, $5 million that disappeared.
Well, they had a guy who gave a contract, and that of money gone down the drain. Nobody know what happened. What's the Canaville? It was on the record. Everybody knew it was he who got the contract. So we don't know what happened.
I mean, what is happening to this country, Sebastian? Look, to our country, where monies have been wasted. We have wasted monies. A lot of money, Sebastian. Look, this fiasco that is going on now with the airport should have never happened. When monies were paid to people for their land, the site was there already. We should never have this problem right now. Never.
But this light thing is puzzling, and I'm trying to understand. We don't know how much money is being spent. What is the contract worth? We don't know. There are problems. People going on and off. And remember, these people live all the way in Canada, so they have to be going. Obviously, they will include that in the bill. So they're going up and down, and we just don't know what's happening. We don't know. And you cannot get information. They're told to keep quiet, and it is just disturbing what is happening. We don't know when it's going to be completed. We don't know.
But
we don't know.
Sebastian, you saw only one light. You saw only one.
Well, they had one. Where they were working. The one closest to the community. That's where they're working currently.
So effectively another year of no international cricket.
Well, it appears so. Unless they can work miracles, we mightn't get cricket this year again. Unless they can work miracles. So in fact, when Cricket West Indies president comes on tonight, the other question we're going to ask him is Dominica down for any cricket this year?
Yeah.
We'll have to ask him that because obviously we don't know what's happening.
It's very unfortunate for the fans, the best cricket fans
in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
Yeah. Let's take this caller. Hold on, Lobby. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Sibo. Good evening, Dominica. Good evening, St. Joseph.
Yes, good evening.
I am frustrated with Dominican. The truth about it, everybody should come together. Forget the labor rights. They already bambazoo already and already messed up already. Forget them. They are ignorant. I have spoken to some of them, and my God, sometimes I even have to tell them, shut them up. Don't let other people hear them because that's making us feel that we are the most uneducated people in the world. But people, the opposition have to come together as one voice and say Roosevelt, Carrington, and his government have to go. People, think of it. Our debt is 1,600,000,000. This man sell 51,000 passports, 100,000 US per passport. The man getting untold money from China. Steve-O, why the youngest prime minister in the Caribbean or in the Western Hemisphere don't have sports stadium? How we still struggling to put lights? How we still struggling to build track and field for the young generation? How is that you want to demolish a mountain? That is really, we don't have to wait for one time and we should have enough money to go on the West and get everything that we want. This guy is just a total waste. And for God's sake, I don't even know why that man remain in power. This guy needs to go. He's a damn shame.
Okay,
Dominica, thank you.
But the caller said something that he said 100,000 for a passport. How he knows that? Men could be selling passports for 23 million.
Yeah,
we don't know.
In fact, that's one of the major concerns that the US have.
Yeah, we don't know how much they sell passports.
And in fact, that's one of the questions that arose with regards to laundering of money and money laundering. Because if you are selling for less than the amount of the passport, then that is really the proceeds of crime. So, all of those are the complications that we have that got us to where we are today.
Yeah, we don't know. You can assume, say, well, they were selling 100,000, but a guy goes in Pakistan or wherever, he meets a guy desperate for a Dominica passport. The guy can tell you, okay, I'll give you 2 million if you have money. You take that money. We don't know how much the state gets from that. We don't know. Nobody really knows how much money has been collected from the passport. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So, as I say, it is puzzling. We are kept in the dark. We don't know what's happening. The lights thing there, again, going back to it. And as you rightly said, Dr. Fountain, Dominica is a place where people come to watch cricket.
Yeah.
And we didn't see cricket last year at all. We had no cricket.
And the year before.
And the year before. We're in a situation, we had a first, Coco Macaque with the lights where a guy was paid and nobody knows there would be how many million. Look, it's a new job that's been done, completely new job.
But wait a minute, Maria was in 2017.
17.
That's 8 years.
Yeah. So, when last we had lights here? We haven't had lights for about almost 10 years
but
now.
we played after Maria. Didn't we play against Sri Lanka?
India played here. But we cannot have most. In fact, right now, the West Indies Women's Tournament is going on in St. Vincent. They have lights. So the They have matches going on all now, right now. In fact, Win was just playing a while ago. So you have 3 matches per day because you can go until the night. But in Dominica, we can't do that because we have no lights. The officials are not giving us information. The people that have the contract are being told that they must not disclose or divulge anything at all. And we are just kept in the dark. And it's just so sad, man. It's just so sad. And when we go everywhere else, and Dominica is the place to play. That's why you get people. So it can't be that this year, if we have 4 test matches again and Dominica can't get one, we might be able to get 1 day or whatever. And nobody's telling us anything. Nobody. And we don't know how much money being spent for that. There was no tender offered. It was probably just given to one person. He had the job. How much? Right now, we don't know how much the lights could cost. We just don't know. So the first time we heard how much was given, it was a big fiasco. The first time. The guy even ended up in hospital because
Sebastian, I'm hoping that the lights are being placed properly. Because the first time the Chinese did it, the lights were not placed properly. That's why you had this big shadow on the perimeter of the field. So I'm hoping this time there won't be any problem. That when the lights do come on, we'll see the entire field well lit. I'm hoping.
Yeah, there was a period where you couldn't. In the close to the pavilion, it was dark there. You couldn't see. Yeah, there was a shadow there. Yeah, on that area.
Was badly located, badly placed. So Sebastian, we're talking about cricket, Sebastian. But you look at sports in Dominica. Look at sports in Dominica where we are going. School sports. Look at your school, for example. Your school, grammar school. I'm looking at grammar school. All right, where you enjoyed your days in sports. You had your own field. You had the best sports day. All right, grammar school also had a hard court. They had court. We have basketball, netball, tennis. All these things were being played. Today, there isn't anything at all. Look. I enjoyed my days in the Windsor Park, Sebastian. Windsor Park developed most of us. Discipline was the first thing. You get there. That's where your parents would locate you. Now you have this link road where you have this apartment there. All right? You have the tech wing. Where's the tech wing? Where the kids to play? Where are they going to play?
But it's very, very unfortunate how sports have just died a natural death. And even in Grand Four, a few years ago, you'd go to Grand Four and there would be about 50 young people
playing
cricket, basketball, volleyball, football. I just came there just before the program. I was up there. I just came down. And it was after just minutes to 5.
And nobody was there
Not
playing.
one single person.
Imagine
not
that.
one.
Unbelievable playing.
Not one single, not one. It broke my heart, man. I said, I cannot believe this is the same. And the young people are still there, Mackie. We have a lot of young people in Grand Four, but they're not playing sports.
Hold on, love, you have a caller?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hello, good night, Steve.
How are you,
Dr.
lady?
Fountain and Robla.
Good night.
Dr. Fountain, I want to ask you 2 questions. Have you ever approached the minister or whoever responsible for sports to talk to him one-on-one about the life in the stadium? If you haven't done that, please do that for us. And tell us what he says. If you don't answer the phone or what, let the public know, okay? The other question, the chairman of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Fontaine, when is he going to reverse what he did? Dr. Fontaine, call him, please, first, or go to him, speak to him and ask him what is the latest on that. Because we are interested in that. I'm a senior citizen. I want to know what is going on. I was born here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not afraid of the devil, much less a human being. You understand? So find out for us, please, because we want to know. Because the chairman of the Electoral Commission, he's not working for himself. He's working for Dominicans. It's not party story that. Working for Dominicans. The worst thing you can ever have to is you let senior citizens start to pray on your head. So please, Dr. Fountain, do that for us. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
But
Thank you very
it's
much.
really wicked for these people to be doing that, I mean, what it is not to just take out this SRO now, withdraw it.
Just withdraw
and
it.
Withdraw it. They actually put that in,
Yes,
deliberately
yeah.
to prevent people from registering to vote, man.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
come on, man. To put a thing that you cannot use a birth paper. To me, the birth paper is the best form of identification. That is to show that you were born wherever it is, or baptismal certificate, whatever. You cannot use that, and you're telling people they have to get drivers. People that never drove in their life, people who have never, they must have a passport. I mean, not wicked, these people, wicked boy. Man, I tell you, man.
Boy,
just change it, don't withdraw it. No, but they have to take so long, and then we're going to have conversation, and they're selecting who are the media people must come, and what they must ask, and the people will be giggling and joking, and like the big joke.
We don't need conversation, we need action.
Exactly, you are very right. Action.
We need action right now, because the people are hurting. I mean, people are thrown into. I mean, imagine this young person, Sibo, who was looking forward to go overseas
to study. And cannot
and cannot.
But that is
there were some people who had received scholarships.
Yeah. And they
cannot take it. I mean, this is.
That is not enough thing to get somebody to use a local with local, mental,
Yeah.
That's
A lot of pressure.
Because
pressure.
you have to go and study. So you're thinking of down the road, when you finish study, what you're going to do, your life.
Yes, yes.
And you cannot go, you stuck here. You cannot get a job. You cannot get a job here. What do you do, mon dear?
Yeah, and,
what do you do?
That's the worst part. It's not even to say that you can get something here in the meantime necessarily.
Right.
Nothing
to do.
So a lot of young people are going to be there. This is sad.
We're not seeing. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. Nobody's seeing where we're going to go, what is going to happen. We don't know. We just don't know. We're kept in the dark.
Thibault, then the Prime Minister said in the House that he had some concerns about this system, this voting. Didn't they say that?
Louis.
No, my question
is, So you really believe he really had concern, Louis? I'm asking you.
I'm saying that if he had concern, why? I thought that they'd have returned to the House and make the amendment. Make the amendment.
But they don't have to go to the House to do that. Okay. They don't have to go to the House, It's an SRO they pass,
Right, the SRO.
In the what is it, Dr. Fang, in the Gazette,
Yes.
So they cannot withdraw that. So people can use their birth paper to register. But no, it is deliberate. The idea so that a lot of people will, and that is why, Dr. Fontaine, you all must keep checking the voters list, the amount of people have registered to see. Because obviously what they're doing, they're bringing their people to register, they're getting passport or whatever. But the people, although they know the people will never go anywhere, they know that. They know that. So it's not a big joke. And going back to the mapping thing, look at the African Cup of Nations that's gone on. We couldn't see one game after that, Dr. Funk and Lobby. The African Cup of Nations. By the way, the final is Sunday between Senegal and Morocco.
Right.
Morocco was 2 to win before. They were 2 to win before.
Huh?
Morocco they were the favorites. Yeah, they were the favorites.
Who is that?
Morocco.
Well, Sebastian, I do not know why talking about favorite, because I think player for player, Senegal, the team is
maybe every competition anywhere they have favorite before.
In the
World Cup, they will say who are the favorite. In the World Cup,
the quality of Senegal.
The Australian Opens open this weekend. You will say they'll probably tell you Alcaraz or Skinner might win it.
Well,
Morocco team. They're playing at home, by the way, in Morocco. They have a lot of good players. So on Sunday they're playing Senegal in the final.
I know. I watch the games in Osibo.
When in Dominican, people can't see it. Instead of you seeing channel, they're withdrawing channels and they're telling people. So you can't even see anything here. They're withdrawing the channels.
Because the only thing that I don't see, they don't bring. You have Willow TV.
Willow Cricket, right?
Yes, cricket. And they don't bring West Indies game at all. We are not just marketable. That's my sad thing about it. The only thing we will see, I'll see here, for example, when you have the T20 in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, Sebastian, West Indies playing, where they're playing, you just don't see. You might just see highlights. All right.
You didn't see the under-19 match today, West Indies against
No. West Indies. No, I don't look. I forgot that.
Yeah, it started today. The Under-19 World Cup started today.
They scored 120.
But you know they were going well at 50-something without loss, eh?
Yes, yes.
Tanzania had a good start. No, they had a good start, Tanzania, and then they collapsed in the end. And West Indies had what? 26 wides, by the way. And you know, the only thing again, I watch the West Indies bowling, and that is the problem. You saw the Super 50 a few months ago. No real fast bowler. I watching the Under-19 boy, apart from the guy Bell, who looks like he have a little pace. Medium pacers, and that is the worry. I mean, the two spinners, wrist spinners, okay, Mackenzie and the guy Laws look decent. And that is something we must encourage, that you have young guys, because wrist spin is an art that is important in cricket nowadays. And it was nice that we had two of them this morning. Bowling. Yeah. We have another caller. Good evening.
People,
yes,
I have
ma'am.
a question for you. As I tell you, I like Toulouse.
Mhm.
I know about cricket in Japan. Japan is to play cricket.
Well, they're playing in the Under-19 World Cup for sure. They're playing.
No, I'm the first time they used to play cricket now.
Well, they're playing there. They're playing in Tanzania. All these places now, they're playing cricket. They're playing there, yeah. They're playing in Japan for sure. They might be playing in China, but they're playing in Japan for sure.
No, what I mean, the country Japan used to play cricket before.
Well, I never really heard them playing before, but they're playing now. I never really heard them playing before.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
but
right.
they're playing now.
But Sibo is like steel pan. Steel pan is very popular in Japan. Even that they had their first carnival 2 or 3 years ago, and pan is very, very popular in Japan.
Well, that's good. Well, pan is not very popular here, Lobi. Even
Well,
here,
but Sebastian, listen to me. The sad thing about it, Sebastian and Dr. Fountain, what I enjoyed, my life growing up in Dominica, what I enjoyed, I feel sorry for the young. I feel seriously. I'll come back again to the Windsor Park. The Windsor Park, the gardens, the tech wing. Sports, these things were alive in Dominica. And we never had this problem with young people, all right? You're saying fields were not empty. People wanted to play. You look after work, people wanted to be involved in activities. It is sad what I'm seeing right now. Very, very sad with young people. You know, the amount of young people the last 10 years that have died in this country, Sebastian. Even last year, for example, 2025, I don't know if you're looking at the amount of young people have died. You know, you had stab, you had shooting, you had. It is just ridiculous. Look, the year ended us in December, maybe about 4 deaths for young people. It started again with murders, ended with murders. We have nothing happening, Dominic. There's no activities, nothing at all. You know, all you have is just boom, 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 boom. That's all you have. We always had dances.
Well, I love SeaWorld now till the middle of February.
No, you can have SeaWorld, Sebastian. We used to have, we used to tell you, we used to have Jouvet. And from Jouvet, we used to go in the Windsor Park and play games, you know. We always played, we always had music, but you had people who were involved in activities, right, Dr. Fountain?
Yes, hold on, Lobby. We have another caller. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Yes, good evening.
Fountain and Lobby. Sibo, either listening and it's a little highlighting call. But if you have to look good, Sibo, all those issues tied together, you know, electoral reform and all the billions of dollars they make from selling the passport, the Madu rule, the drug runnings, the visa, Sibo, all these things tie up and coming back to the same thing, you know. And I have to blame Dominican, Sibo. Because when we know that was coming, when Lennox Linton was pointing out early o'clock, even supporters of the United Workers' Party was saying all Lennox was talking about is corruption and he shouldn't talk about the money missing. And a lot of people in the United Workers' Party was going against Lennox Linton for defending Dominican and speaking the truth, you know, Sibu. So Dominicans is who bring that on them. In not Trump, not even Skerrit, because Skerrit, they would have kicked Skerrit out of office long time. They even tell him to bring back the money, the sale of the passport, bring it back, Dominica. He jumping high, jumping low, but he just cannot bring back that money. Edison James Sterling will help him. Dominican will help him because it look like he have a somebody have him in a chokehold. Just come, we will help you to bring back Dominican money for them. See, but Dominican people never stand up and defend Dominica, you know. Right now, everybody paying for it. No visa. Student cannot go to study. You can't pick up garbage. A bunch of money, and see, but still in the money because we don't know. And when you haven't got information, you have to make assumption. And I say all this money still in the money, see, but all the money for the light go.
We're going to take a break now.
Still in the morning, and Dominican need to come out on the road and stop because that is what the American and the European telling Dominican to do. Get rid of this government.
Okay, thank you, Colin.
Yes, so just quickly, India also played today in the under-19.
Yeah.
And all eyes was on this youngster. Remember this
the left-handed boy,
Surya Vanshani.
Right.
And but he did not. He scored. He started off with
He's
a
the
6.
captain, in fact.
Yeah, he started off with a 6, but then he got bowled. So a little bit of disappointment. I'm sure he will come very good, given the kind of talent. I mean, this guy. Some people think he's not a real person.
Well, probably some people think he's really not that age.
I mean, and he's 15 now.
Yeah, 15.
He's 15. So this guy has 4 years in the under 19.
He can play
3 more years in the under 19, and he's just phenomenal. I mean, it's yeah.
Well, let's take a break. So by the time we get back, we should have Dr. Shallow with us. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen.
Dominica, it's game time. On or off the field, every goal, corner kick, every penalty. From cricket to football to netball to basketball, Del Magis is Dominica's #1 and only all-star sports all gear, all uniform, all access sports center. Get all your team and individual all sportswear, accessories, and fitness comfort apparel. Del Magis got it all. From Nike to Lacoste to Puma, Adidas, Sacco Bunny, Levi's, football boots in all sizes, hoses, shin guards, goalkeeper gloves, sneakers for running, jogging, walking, climbing, hiking, or tracking, softball, cricket ball, sports trophies, and all sports gear and wear. Your sports dominance begins at Del Natchez. Oubliez jouer, sway, sauter, marcher, éventuer, track pants, top shorts, sports bras, in all neutral or delicate fluorescent colored sports fabrics. Only at Del Natchez. Proud sponsor the Sports Wrap, interactive sports review, results, analysis, predictions, and sports commentary. Del Natchez, Arcade George 5th Street, lower down from Ace Shillingford Shopping Center.
We don't read this. Yes, and there's a sale at Del Nagy Sports Shop, a lobby, as Lobby always say, close to the Point Michelle bus stop. They have sneakers on sale, ladies 3/4 shorts, ladies short and 3/4 tights, men's long pants, and Nike t-shirts. So again, at items on sale at Del Nagy Sports Shop, sneakers, ladies 3/4 shorts, ladies short and 3/4 tights, men long pants, and Nike t-shirts. So you can get all that at Del Nagy's Sports Zone. Close, as Lobby said, the Point Michelle bus stop, close to CACS, close to Jolly. You can't miss it. So yes, we're about to be joined by Dr. Keisha Shallow. By the way, we must not forget Tropita as well. There, we have been fortunate that Tropita, Josephine Gabriel, they provide us with Tropita water so we can use during the show. And we want to thank them as well, Tropita. And we must not forget AC Shillingford, who have been a sponsor. They haven't committed yet for this year, but they've been always sponsored that program for the past 10 years, AC Shillingford. So we can't forget them as well. So you have Del Nagy Sports Zone, Josephine Gabriel, Tropita, and we can't forget that. Yes. So I think we're about to be joined by Dr. Keisha Shallow, the president of Cricket West Indies, who is now the Minister of Tourism in St. Vincent. Government won in a massive landslide a few weeks ago where they destroyed, they obliterated Ralph Gonsalves in St. Vincent now. He's the Lone Ranger on the Unity Labour Party. The government has 14 seats to 1. But Dr. Shallow is really going to be talking to us about cricket because he's still the president of Cricket West Indies. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The president of Cricket West Indies. Yes, yes, he's on. He's on. Dr. Shallow is on. Dr. Shallow, good night. Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year.
Hi, Sibo. Happy New Year to you as well, and to all.
And Doctor, hear this. Dr. Fountain is here. As you know, he's the leader of the United Workers' Party. So maybe you need to give him some tips how you can destroy a government in power on the polls. Maybe you can give him. He's right there with me, Dr. Fountain.
Oh, absolutely. You're welcome. That. Congratulations.
Like you, man. He doesn't need advice from me.
No, yeah, because he's a doctor, as you're a doctor. Shallow is Dr. Fountain. So you'll be able to give him the. What I will do, I'll give him your number so he can contact you if you don't mind. If you don't mind.
There's a young man there in Dominica who I know very well by the name of Clement Marcelin. He is very capable as well. I'm sure if they knock heads together, you know, they could achieve practically anything.
They're in the same party, you're right. They're in the same party, you're right. Well, Dr. Shallow, first of all, I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when I want to congratulate you on your victory at the polls. You're now the Minister of Tourism, which is a massive portfolio, and it's a lot of work you have to do in being the minister and still president of Cricket West Indies. And I know you have said that you feel you can do both jobs, and I have no reason to doubt you. And the first question I will ask you, though, is now that you're the minister of Cricket West Indies, do you think that you'll be able to cope with both jobs?
Let me pause a second, Sibo, in that I want to use this opportunity as well to express my condolences to Jesse's family.
Oh yeah, you've been there tomorrow, tomorrow.
They planning to come across for the funeral tomorrow, but unable to do so. So I want to send condolences to his family and loved ones. I've known Jesse for a few years now through cricket administration. I remember years ago, you know, I actually asked Liam about him, your son Liam.
When you know they're two of the closest friends for life, you know that.
You know, I asked him about him as a cricket administrator, and Liam had really high praises for him. And over the years, I've seen that for myself firsthand. He obviously elevated to Winwood's level and had so much promise as a young professional and future, you know, cricket administrator, and could have gone all the way, you know. So really, really unfortunate. I was quite shocked, to be honest.
Well, most people were shocked, Dr. Shallow. I could tell you that.
I thought that he was ill, and then eventually his demise. So massive, massive loss to, I am sure, the people of Dominica and to the entire cricket fraternity throughout the Caribbean. And again, I express my condolences to
12 o'clock tomorrow. It'll be buried tomorrow, 12 o'clock.
Yes. I've asked my colleague director at CWI, who is also the president of the DCA, Clement Marcelin, to give tribute on my behalf and on behalf of the cricket community. And he has assured me that he will do so. All right. So I just wanted to do that, you know, and pay my respect to
No, very good. Very good. Very good.
Yes. But with regards to the question you asked about managing both portfolios, CWI president and minister of tourism, civil aviation and sustainable development, big portfolio. But listen, Sibo, and you know me well over the years, everything I put my interest in, everything I've committed to, I've given it my all. I've always been true and fair and honest to the people who I work with and who I serve. And if I had any doubt at all in my mind that workload management was going to be a challenge, then I would have been the very first person to say that I am not going to do this, because I've always loved cricket. From the time I know myself, I've loved cricket, and I continue to be a loyalist to West Indies cricket. And so in no way, right, I would try to compromise my ability to serve. They are obviously very same for my beloved country. It's a case where I know at some point I will have to transition, and that is the case. But for now, I have all confidence, and I've discussed this with colleagues at cricket, our executive members, staff, and other stakeholders. Similarly, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I've discussed it with the Prime Minister of the country and my cabinet colleagues. And by and large, I've received, significant support. In fact, while the noise were, being, projected from small pocket, I would say, in the Caribbean, and the usual suspects, the number of calls and messages and even emails I received telling me not to step away from cricket and to keep the role, and because CWI needs that stability and so on. I was really encouraged by that, Sibon. I thank all who reach out in one way or the next, and even those who couldn't reach out, I thank them for their quiet support as well.
Okay. Now, Dr. Shallow, the board is now going through some trying times in terms of finances. In fact, we see that the Breakout League has been not cancelled, postponed. The first class season is going to be played in one country. The Super 50 was cut down, the amount of matches. How West Indies are going to really manage in the next year too? The West Indies, cricket West Indies.
Well, we predicted this. It hasn't caught us by surprise by any means. We knew that the financial model really of world cricket is one that you generate revenues based on the teams you host, right? And in this case, we had a very successful year in 2024 with the World Cup, and we hosted a few recognized.
India,
Correct. England, and that was a highly successful year. But we forecast at the time a very lean period, which would have been last year and this year, knowing fully well. So, for example, this year, the teams that we host, and these series are going to be a deficit for the organization. And so we predicted it and we plan accordingly. So it is really about, your forecast and projections and managing. But long term, while we could navigate the times now, and it is not, we are not caught by surprise by any means, we have to address this chronic financial situation. In that we have to, and it's not rocket science. Quite wrong. It's really about generating the revenue, generating more revenue, because there's very little you can do. Sibo, that there's no way as a cricket organization, especially you're a full member, competing with the likes of India, England, Australia, and the others. We cannot afford to cut our development programs.
You're right.
So some may say, well, why not cut your expenses, right? Why not reduce your expenditure, right? It is a case where even though you try, as we have done, so that is why we have, one, pushed back the Breakout League to later this year in our next financial period. Also, we have decided that rather than moving international cricket across different islands, multiple islands per series, we're going to have them in one country, right? And that is saving us significant money. In that, I don't know if you're aware, Sibo, but move a team in a series across the country, you're talking about automatically $150,000-$200,000 US.
Yes, and I know the television thing is a cost as well, and carrying around the Caribbean.
So we have, we have gone about shaving and cutting and very prudent financial practices we have adopted. But still, if we don't generate more revenue, it is going to be difficult. The chronic issue will remain. So we have to diversify our revenue streams. We also have to engage ICC, and it's a discussion that I have started. One of the reasons why I've committed to seeing out my tenure as well, with the intention that by the end of my tenure, there must be a more sustainable arrangement for cricket West Indies cricket, because we all know what we have done for world cricket. And it is a case where I have spoken to the board at the ICC level, explained to them that they must approach and address cricket West Indies as a unique case. We are the only full member, right, that are separated by waters. Our countries are separated by waters, meaning every time we host a regional, but anytime we play a first class season or under 15 tournament or under 17, whether boys or girls, we have to fly teams across the region, and it is extremely costly. So these are things that we are addressing, and they are long-term steps, and they're going to take time. But these are the things that we need to implement if we are going to be if we are going to move from this chronic financial model that is not favoring us right now.
But as you talk about that, Sir Viv Richards and Brian Lara were brought to India during the series West Indies and India. That would happen. The CEO, I remember saying at the time, helped to see if they could help Cricket West Indies to solicit some sponsors in India. Whatever happened to that?
Well, that was really networking and trying to establish relationships that we suspect will help us in the future. But it was never a case where we expected that they are going to go to India and fly back with a briefcase of money, if you understand. The reality is about networking and building relationships and looking for those investment in the future. And it has been, so far, the report that I received is that it was a fruitful venture. Some relationships were formed, and hopefully we could build on those in the coming months and years.
Dr. Shallow, the World Cup is 21 days away. West Indies plays 7th of February. We do not know where they're going to play, by the way, because where you're an ICC member, director, and the position with Bangladesh. But the problem is, one would have thought that right now you would want to get your entire team preparing for the World Cup. We have a situation there. We're going to be playing Afghanistan, and the captain is not going to be present because they have assignments elsewhere and some other people. Personally, I am of the opinion that the entire team should be ready now. I would think the captain should have been there and other people. And I don't know, maybe you think differently because the borders allow that. And I personally believe it's wrong, Dr. Shah.
Listen, it's not ideal, but again, we understand global cricket. It's one of the challenges that we are faced with, that we have to navigate around. Franchise cricket and the need for players to sort of manage their commitment and their obligations to West Indies cricket, but also to their families. Because when they travel and they go and play franchise cricket, they're doing so to earn more money. I could tell you that not one of them love these franchises more than they love West Indies cricket. Not one of the players. But at the end of the day, they are professionals, and they simply have to go and apply their trade. And we encourage that. We facilitate it, right? But at the same time, we ask them to strike a balance. And in this case, it was well coordinated in advance by Darren Sammy, head coach, director of cricket Miles, and the players. So yes, it is not ideal, but also is an opportunity for the players. So what Darren and Miles have said is that they're going to use this series to finalize the World Cup team. With a few players, they getting a chance to put their hand up on for one or two other spots remaining. And also, the guys are playing very competitive cricket in South Africa, where our next series, will be in South Africa. So the great thing about this is that our team who's going to be playing against Afghanistan in Dubai, they're going to be heading to South Africa to meet the other guys, the Shea Hope, Raston Chase, and all these other guys. And then we are going to have our full World Cup team there with that final preparation to the World Cup. So I'm happy that they're actually playing very competitive cricket. You would have seen Shea scoring 100 recently, and the other guys are
correct, yeah.
One of these guys. So it's really good to see, and a lot of the players in that league, they're going to be featuring in the World Cup as well. So and the other teams, South Africa and Pakistan and the other players who are there.
Yeah, but Dr. Shallow, we're playing against Afghanistan next week. The Afghanistan captain, Rashid Khan, who is also in South Africa, he left today because he wants to captain his team against the West Indies. He left South Africa. He was playing from the Mumbai Indians team in South Africa, the franchise. He's left. I'm sure you know that, to go to join his team to captain against the West Indies. Why couldn't the same thing be done for our captain?
Well, again, I can't tell you what is the policy that they have. It may be a case where they don't have any more games before the World Cup. In fact, I think this could possibly be Afghanistan's last series before the World Cup, whereas we have a South Africa, which is a major team, to prepare against going into the World Cup. So I can't speak for Afghanistan and Rashid Khan, but I could tell you what our plans are, and that it is not a case where we didn't anticipate it, right? And again, it's about our players. We have to manage the reality of cricket, and which is there's franchise cricket that exists, and we have to afford our players the opportunity to play franchise cricket while they play for West Indies, or else the reality is we are going to lose them if we don't facilitate that.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Shallow Thompson here. I wanted to ask a question about the state of West Indies Test cricket in particular, and I know that a number of West Indians have been very much concerned about what they view to be a marked decline in West Indies Test cricket. And I was wondering whether at the West Indies board level, whether what kind of discussions is taking place in terms of how you reverse what seems to be some significant slide in West Indies Test cricket.
Yeah, Tom, so, our Test cricket has been struggling for years. 30 plus years we have been struggling. And I normally remind our fans, West Indians especially, and cricket fans all across the world who support West Indies cricket, that it is a case where we fail to implement comprehensive programs, infrastructure over the years. And what we are doing now, we have made some strides. And this started, for over a decade now. Prior me was Ricky Skerritt, and then you have Dave Cameron before, and even Julian Hunt. Sir Julian Hunt before started implementing programs, right? And though we have made strides, as I just said, it is a case where other teams were on there and pause and waiting for us to catch up with them. And so they are well advanced while we still continue to implement systems. So luckily, over the last 4 to 6 years, we have really zoomed in on our high performance systems. And Miles has done a fantastic job as the director of cricket so far, following up from Jimmy Adams, to ensure that our young players, both male and female, get the opportunity to be in a high performance environment. And that is why you would see our young under 19 players, looking so organized now. If I look at a couple of the guys, but despite losing 5 wickets to Chase's runs this morning in the under 19 World Cup, but you could see these guys now, with less deficiencies. That is because of the exposure they have been given from under 19 level. Whereas before, guys were just, turning up and playing off raw talent. And then when they reach international cricket, then they're exposed with great deficiencies. So what we are doing now, because Sibo would tell you, Sibo is the big cricketer on these two on the panel, hey, Sibo would tell you that Test cricket, I mean, it exposes you like no other cricket.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you can get away with things in T20 and even ODIs, you won't get away with it in Test cricket. And if we don't have a very robust, comprehensive system or pathway with our players coming through, then it is difficult for them to really have any sustained success, any consistency at the international level playing Test cricket. So we are addressing those issues that we identify very, very late, I would say. But, we are doing that. We still have a lot of work to do with infrastructure, but that is something that we have to collaborate with the governments across the region, because CWI, we own one major facility, which is in Antigua, the Coolidge Cricket Ground. So we have to partner with the different governments across the Caribbean. And by and large, we have been getting favorable response, but we still need indoor facilities. We need more bowling nets and those very innovative system. And this is not unique to cricket. This is the case for sports generally. We have been over the years just relying on rat talent with very limited systems and infrastructure. And I do think it's really injustice to our talented athletes, because if we give these players, whether cricket or football or basketball or track, whatever, if we give them this sort of exposure and opportunity that the other athletes across the world have, I could tell you that we'll be dominating most of the sports disciplines. So we have to get that right, hopefully sooner than later. And that is where, I'm kind of excited to be in a government position now, whereas I could help to effect those sort of policies that would encourage, greater appreciation from government and greater investment into sports, because I do strongly believe that sports is the future for the region with our extreme talented athletes that we have.
All right, thanks for that. And I'm very happy that this is being addressed, because I've been a bit concerned. It seems that there is increasingly some very powerful voices within cricket that have calling for even a free tier cricket system, where somehow the West Indies would not be allowed to compete against India, Australia, Pakistan, New Zealand, and India. And I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on this? And is that something that we should be worried about? That this is gaining traction, and we could possibly see a day when we are no longer allowed, as given our form, and no longer allowed to participate with those top teams?
Well, what I could say is, from an ICC level and a CWI level, there's absolutely no appetite for 2-tier, 3-tier, whatever tier system. We believe
totally agree with you there. Go ahead. Yeah.
We believe in what exists, but what we need to do is make it more equitable with our financial model, so that the teams like West Indies and Sri Lanka and these teams, Bangladesh, that we could actually compete. And if we are given more resources, then I have no doubt we'll compete. As you have seen, we have beaten Australia in Australia not too long ago. We have beaten Pakistan in Pakistan recently. We compete the first game against New Zealand, right? And we have beaten England as well. So we know for a fact that we are capable of competing, but then so it's not a case of putting us in different tiers, but it's simply, if we want Test cricket to be successful, and Test cricket cannot survive with just England, Australia, and India. That's a fact. So ICC, it is really their responsibility and obligation, actually, for them to, if the interest is really for Test cricket to be around for another 2, 3, or even more decades, for them to invest in all the full members who are still interested in playing Test cricket.
Yes, Sibo.
Yeah, go ahead, Lobby.
Yes, Doctor, I just listening to you. And I know that I'm in the say that we are consistently being inconsistent right now in all formats of the game. I am a diehard West Indian supporter. And sports is my background, coaching, teaching, playing, and there must be preparation. And I'll tell you off the bat, I have no confidence in that team for that present World Cup, because there's no preparation whatsoever, adequate preparation. I've looked at us, even in the test games, the last test match, we tend to fall apart because I'm saying that the players are not fit. There's players are just not fit. What is preventing us from having proper preparation? What is affecting us from having proper preparation? I realize there is no preparation whatsoever because players are all overplaying, and then we call a team for 2 weeks and then we get over. There is no preparation, and it's sad where we are right now. We are not marketable anymore. Look, I'm in the US right now. There's a channel, we have a cricket channel owned by the Indians. It's called Willow TV. And when we are playing, I don't see West Indies playing. They just don't bring our cricket at all. I mean, it's sad. They will bring the T20 in the Caribbean, but and that is it. They just don't bring anything to it. It's just sad. Where we were and where we are right now, we are consistently being inconsistent. This performance, now and again, it doesn't go well with me at all. You will have to prepare. And players, I mean, in terms of, yes, you want to assist players in terms of there's life, after that when they leave in terms of having, for their families, yes, money here and there. But let's face it, man. I just heard a while ago about the Afghan captain. It shows in terms of priority, all right, patriotism, all right, patriotism. I would for sure, having played, I mean, that is not the first game. Chase have been playing cricket all over. All right, and we are going into a World Cup. We are going into a World Cup. That should be priority. That should be priority. Tell me that he out there playing franchise cricket after he will join the team. Not making no sense to me at all.
Dr. Charlo, you want to respond?
I was hoping Emmanuel came with a gentle medium pace to start the year off, but he started the year with his Pascal bowling as usual. But that's fine. The reality is, while we could try and encourage the players to make themselves available for West Indies, and we do so, but we have to be realistic. We have lost players and other players not only in the West Indies. We have seen players in South Africa, in New Zealand, even England move on because it is just difficult to commit to international cricket only. And if you ask them to choose, then the decision in most cases become relatively easy because they're going to choose their family first, right? And it's difficult to argue with them. However, to address the point there, Emmanuel, I mean, I don't agree with you in terms of the preparation for the World Cup because, as I said before, and I just put it up because I want to point you to the facts, that Afghanistan series that they are playing against us now, it is the last series they're having before the World Cup. So when they finish on the 22nd of January against us, their next game is in the World Cup on February 8th when they play against New Zealand. West Indies, after the series against Afghanistan on the same 22nd of January, we play a 3-match series against South Africa. So we actually playing 2 series before the World Cup, and we still have a couple World Cup warm-up matches in between there. So you're talking about possibly 8 international matches before our first game against Bangladesh in the World Cup. Now, it's extremely difficult to have a longer preparation period than that in global cricket now because of how it is. So, I understand that ideally we would have had our full World Cup team playing in this series against Afghanistan, but I also quite comforted by the fact that a couple players are going to have the opportunity to put their hands up and get picked and so on and be they as even possible replacement. I will remind you guys, and I'm sure your memory go right back to 2016 when we won that World Cup, T20 World Cup.
3 of them. Go ahead, Doctor. Are you mute? Hold on, we lost.
We had to. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Correct.
Sibo, I was reminding Emmanuel and Tamsu and listeners that in 2016, we had to replace about 2 to 3 players with injuries during that World Cup.
True.
And so getting these players who may not be in the World Cup squad with this sort of quality game time, right, may not be a bad idea. And that is where I accept my comfort in that the other players are not home sitting and relaxing on vacation. They are playing highly competitive cricket in South Africa.
Yeah.
So
Dr. Charlie, let's take this call. There's a caller for you. Hold on. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
People and the rest of the
Good
panel there. I had a question for Dr. Shallow, but not quite cricket. He's now part of the administration in Kingston. But I read some time ago that the Prime Minister, Dr. Friday, was indicating that when they came in, they got a debt of about $3-something billion. And they were looking at the whole question now of going into this CBI as a way of generating funds for development in St. Lucia.
St. Vincent.
Sorry. But I was really wondering against the backdrop of all what was happening, because I noticed to some extent, one of the most important persons who could have challenged this Venezuela invasion would have been Dr. Gonzalez. And I was wondering whether it was a kind of timely thing in working out the strategy by the Americans. They look at the St. Vincent election. But I just wanted to, because he's now wearing 2 hats, the president of the West Indies board and now a minister in the cabinet in St. Vincent. So if we could explain how come they are looking at the whole question of CBI when the thing has been derailed more or less.
Well, let me see if he'll answer you. He's right there. Okay, thanks, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, and the reason why Sibo responded like that, because Sibo know he invited me on the program as the president of Cricket West Indies.
Right, correct.
That is why I am wearing my West Indies top. You know,
well, you choose not to answer. There's no problem with that. If you want to answer, it's about
the West Indies backdrop.
Okay, let's go. By the way, your director of cricket is listening there, right? By the way, he's listening now to you.
Okay.
He's listening.
Good night, Miles. Miles is hard working. Maybe, Emmanuel, you should have a one-on-one discussion with Miles. One of these.
Well, he listen to you. Dr. Shallow, I know, I believe you are the chairman of the allocation of matches committee or whatever it is. Hold on. Before I do that, let's take this caller. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
Yeah, 2 quick questions, Dr. Shallow.
Yeah.
There seems to be a worrying trend that our West Indian players seem to perform better in franchise cricket than the West Indies. Is that worrying? Because I think there might be something wrong, apart from just playing on the field, that may be wrong for players. Why they do not perform with like country headman, they seem to perform for other countries better than they perform for the national team. Secondly, why couldn't we also, is it a pride thing that the board has not approved Turan, who is obviously by far our best T20 player, despite his recognition, but I think some pride should be, we should approach the gentleman, let him say no, and then we say as a team that he said no. Give him one more try. It has been done by other countries. I think that this might be a pride thing, so just couldn't respond to this question.
Okay, before he answers, let me just say to you that the board approached Purana, by the way, and he said no. But although I would not have done that, I just felt he retired. But let Dr. Shallow answer.
Yeah, I think the first question was about why players perform better at the franchise level. The frank reality is that the franchise cricket is at a lower level than international cricket. International cricket, you have the best players in the world representing their countries. Whereas with franchise cricket, you probably have a few weak players here and there. and so you always expect that the standard and the performance to be better, certainly more consistent at the franchise level. If you look at CPL, compare that to an international match, West Indies versus Australia with Mitchell Starc running in a two, it's two total different things, total different situations. So I think that explains it. With regards to Nicholas Pooran, Nicholas and I get along well over the years. When he retired, just before, I was one of the first persons he called and indicated to me that he was considering retirement. He explained to me the reasons. I told him to think about it some more, and then he came back after and said, yeah, he believed, this is the time, and he gave his reasons. During the Christmas season, as usual, we exchange messages from time to time. I reminded him that the door is still wide open if he wants to reconsider a comeback in international cricket, and he acknowledged that. And the rest is up to him. I suspect one or two others may have spoken to him, but he knows that the door is open, and if he wants to come back, we will certainly consider him. As the caller said, he's still one of the better players in global cricket, whether it is I would say for white ball cricket, both T20 and ODI, and it was a massive loss to us at the time when he retired, but we have to move on, and luckily we have other players who have stepped up. I think the captain, Shehope Rutherford, and a couple of the other players have really stepped up and showing a level of class and responsibility. We'd like to see probably more consistency, and we're hoping we could see that between the next couple of series going into the World Cup. So we are confident, I would say, but to explicitly respond to your question, Nicholas Pooran is aware that the door is wide open for him if he wants to return.
Right. Yeah, Dr. Charlie, I was saying that I think you're chairman of the International Fixtures Committee. Dominica hasn't had a match for, over 2 years now. I know Pakistan is coming July, August, and most of the matches are going to be playing Trinidad. I believe Sri Lanka is coming as well. Have the matches been allocated already for the Sri Lanka series?
For the upcoming Sri Lanka International Men's Series?
Right, yeah.
So let me correct you. I'm not the chair of any International Fixtures Committee. That for sure. All right. The management, the system that we have now is the management, which is Miles Bascom, Roland Holder, and their team. They look at the different criteria, assess venues, and they determine, they discuss it with the finance team as well. Because as I said earlier in the program, we are trying to cut costs as much as possible, and they make their recommendation to the board, and that is when I get an opportunity to have an input, and in most cases you approve because you expect management to come to you after careful consideration. With regards to the Sri Lanka series, I know I'm not sure if you're aware, but and this is why I asked for clarification, because there's the women's series coming up.
Right.
There's one that is supposed to be in Grenada, which is West Indies women team against Sri Lanka. And then there's that from the 16th of February to the 4th of March. Right. And then later there's also another female series against Australia, and that is being hosted in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right.
With regards to the men, I think you're talking about our next series, home series.
Yeah, I think the 2-test series,
yeah. And I don't think, in fact, let me also think. Currently, as it is, Dominica is not going to host that series. It'll be Jamaica, and maybe I shouldn't name them because we'll do a release at some point. But we have already determined those. It may just come back to the board for approval based on discussions with the different, which is why I don't want to name them, because there's still that final discussion between government and Cricket West Indies. But I think later this year, what we are hoping to do is to bring, there's still one more series.
Is New Zealand still coming? New Zealand still coming to the Caribbean?
New Zealand should be here later this year as well. Yes, so they should be here this year. Pakistan also should be here. But
yeah, I know Pakistan more in Trinidad, right?
New Zealand should be between the 8th and the 22nd of July.
Okay.
Trinidad would be, Pakistan would be around July, 25th to around the 7th of August.
So the New Zealand matches, are they going to be playing Trinidad as well?
The New Zealand matches, no, they're not scheduled for Trinidad and Tobago. But then later this year, we're hoping to come to Dominica. And Dominica has been scheduled before, but there have been a few changes. I think currently you have some work being done at your stadium.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but they can't determine when they're going to finish. There's a problem.
Right. So that's one of the consideration, and we're patiently waiting for that to be completed so that we can return international cricket.
Well, I went there Tuesday, I can tell you that, and they couldn't give me. It was up to Tuesday. Hold on, there's a caller there. Hold on, Dr. Shallow. Good evening. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. We have Dr. Shallow on. You want to ask him a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, let me wish you all a happy New Year.
Thanks. Right. Yeah.
And hope that this program will continue to grow.
Right.
And that you will continue to provide the service to your country and by extension the region.
Right.
I also want to say congratulations to your guest, the president of the West Indies Cricket Board, and doing such an excellent achievement in his country, and now have such a very important position to serve the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But there are some very important positions right now which you and the special guest is addressing, and some of the things he would have mentioned tonight, I totally disagree with some of the comments that he would have made. For instance,
well, what you can do? Let's come to the specific things you want, so you can address them. What are the things you find that you said you disagree with? Let's get straight to it.
Yeah, well, I disagree in reference to no player has more interest in franchise than the West Indies team. They have it's just like the West Indies team is the most important thing to them, and that is not the case. You look at the situation with Pooran, who's supposed to be our best white ball player at age 29. If there were no franchise cricket in the world, he would have never retired. So it's about what they can make and not in the interest of West Indies cricket. And where these players started. They started in under the umbrella of West Indies cricket from youth level, first class cricket, and whatever. That's where they have been seen. So if West Indies did not give them that opportunity to play, to grow, and to develop, who would have seen them?
Okay, what is the next point, Dr. Menard? Because we want to speed up. We don't have much time. Yeah, go ahead. Anything else what he said you didn't agree with?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I also let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
I want the president to let us know officially who is the selector who selects the West Indies team.
Okay. Let him answer. Thanks for the question. Let him answer. By the way, Dr. Shallow, that's a caller from St. Kitts, Dr. Menard. Okay, let him answer. Dr. Shallow, yeah.
So one, just to clarify, I didn't say the players don't have interest or more interest in franchise cricket. What I said specifically was I cannot state, right, that any of those players, I do not believe that those players love franchise cricket more than they love West Indies cricket, right? So not because they play franchise cricket mean they love franchise cricket more than West Indies cricket, but it becomes a professional choice, right, which I personally respect So as much as we'll encourage them to play for West Indies cricket, I for sure and we have made a decision that we respect their decision, and we're going to try and manage their availability for international cricket. While we'll love if they could play every single series, every single match for West Indies cricket. And in fact, we have made some strides in this regard, and I probably transition to the question of selection there, because one of the contributing factors for us selecting Darren Sammy as the head coach of the Test team was so that he can get more players available, more of these same franchise players available to play Test cricket, which is why Shea Hope is back playing Test cricket, which is why Brandon King is back playing Test, well, he's now playing Test cricket. And there are others who we have been working on to make themselves available. So we have made some strides there, and we are seeing greater commitment from players in that regard. With regards to who is selecting the West Indies team, we have a system of selectors, a system that, gather data, people observing more cricket across the region, the regional cricket, the youth tournaments, the high performance camps, and so on. And they all feed into a system, right? If you're asking who is the ultimate decision maker in terms of a selection on a team, then that is the head coach of all our teams. So the head coach of our Test team, of our ODI, our T20 team, those teams are obviously coached by Darren Sammy. For our women's team, we have Shane Dietz, and for our under-19 team, we have Rohan Nos. And so it is a network that we believe one is far more comprehensive. I know, Sibo, I know you're the first one to oppose the system.
When you know I have a problem. Cricket is listening, and I hope you revert to selectors where people.
What we have committed to is to ensure that we keep assessing. And you heard it when I was on another program recently.
Yeah, I heard you, right? Yeah.
And the reality is, and the truth is, from the very start, we have said that, listen, nothing is cast in stone. We are not saying that we are going to have a fixed system like this for life. But we appreciate that we need to be fluid. And if we were to be honest, we will say that the very same system that we are saying we should revert to at this stage is the same one that had us losing for 3 decades. So we decided that we are going to give this current system, which we believe are far more comprehensive than the one we had, right? We are going to give it a run, and then we are still committed to reviewing and assessing it at some point. And so if we say we are committed to that, I know Miles Bascom and his entire team, they understand that fully well. They do their appraisal, and we'll keep assessing it. But it doesn't mean that come a couple of years from now it's going to be the same system. We want to keep it fluid. We want to keep evolving as an organization on all fronts.
Yeah, go ahead, Lobby.
Yes, Dr. Shiloh, you declare me as a fast bowler. I like
No, he said you're a medium pacer. He didn't say you're a fast bowler. He said you're a medium pacer. Go ahead, Lobby. Ask the question because we don't have much time.
Quickly. My concern there, I have a concern, is the contract. Players who are on contract. And that is there a monitoring system? Do we monitor the players? Because, for example, if you have 4 players from Barbados or 5 from Barbados on contract, how do you all know that the players have been active? What are they doing? What is in place to monitor these players? I mean, at the end of the month, they have been paid a salary. So there should be some, if whatever can be done to monitor these players.
Right. I suspect you're speaking of our international players, those who are contracted centrally.
Yes.
So ideally, what is supposed to happen is that when they are not engaged in international cricket for West Indies, they should be reporting to their franchises. Because remember, below that level, we have the franchise system, where we have supposed to be a professional system with coaches and the physio, S&C, and all the full complement of staff. Right. They're supposed to be in those setup, and by and large, they do so. Again, because of the the T20 component, the franchise component. Players go off and they play these leagues. What we do and what we have been doing better, and this is part of the same selection system that we have now, and even a broader system capturing the different data, the fitness and so on of players, is that there's more monitoring and management of our players when they're not engaged at the international level for West Indies. What we want this to be extended to, we want to see that even when players lose form, right? So when a player is dropped from international team, like how Sibo used to drop people when he was a selector, you know.
And Miles Bascom is listening. When Courtney Brown, with 2.5 years, we had one of the best records ever selection panel, and you know that. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So what we want them to be able to do is go back to our high performance system in Antigua and work on the deficiencies to get them back to international cricket. That is the ideal system, and that component and layer has been missing for years in our system, where players get dropped because they lose form or they're exposed because of the limitations, and then we just leave them by the side and forget about them, and then we never see them again in international cricket.
No, what about that? Oh, sorry for that coming in there. I'm talking about, yes, the international players on contract. Do you get is there a report? Do you all demand a report on these players?
Well, again, because the head coach, so there's the head coach, there's also Jamal Smith, who is a new position, part of management, really. Can't remember his exact role, but his role is part of management of players. That is part of it, reaching out to players, getting updates from them. Then you have Dr. Dinesh Bayam, who is also managing the fitness component of it, reaching out to players and ensure that they're doing the right things. And then we have an S&C leader as well. That used to be Ronald Rogers. Another young guy has just taken over. Managing our players even when they're not engaged internationally for series for West Indies cricket. And that is the only way we're going to ensure that players, even though they don't play for a few weeks, when they return, they return at least the better. They should all return better. And this is why we stated that cricket, you should be developing or working to develop your game until you retire. And that is the kind of system that we want to establish across West Indies. The whole, system should indicate and facilitate the continued development of our players from the time they start playing cricket at under 15 level right up until they reach retirement.
Okay, well, as we talk about retirement, when things are going well, we have to come to a close now. It's almost 8 o'clock. I want to thank you, Dr. Shallow, for spending an entire hour with us. I'm happy. And I just want to say, I like the idea this morning, seeing the two wrist spinners playing for the under-19. I like that. And Miles Bascom is listening, and that has to be developed more. We want to see more wrist spinners in our cricket. My only worry sometimes when I see the youth players, we don't see young fast bowlers coming along. I mean, you look at the guy Bell, he looks decent, Southampton, but I'm still worried that we're not seeing the young fast bowler coming around. I watched the Super 50, I didn't see that. But the two wrist spinners, I hope we encourage them and really bring them along, work with them. And of course, the World Cup starts in 22 days' time, Dr. Shallow. I am sure I speak for most people when we want to see our team do well. It's important that West Indies does well, because if we keep losing out there, people will not recognize, and we'll hear this nonsense about two-tier, because when we were beating everybody, we never heard that. We were beating them 5-0, whitewashing them, blackwashing them, whatever you want to call it. Nobody spoke of two-tier, but now you hear this foolishness around. So let me just say thank you. Keep on a different note. I see you cutting ribbons at the airport and all this sort of thing. Continue and keep doing what you have to do. Thank you very much for joining Dr. Shallow. Thank you so much.
Thanks, gents. All the best. Good night.
All right. Thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the program. 2 hours. Oh, my God, 8 o'clock already. So, on behalf of Dr. Fountain, Emmanuel Loblack, the Workers' Voice continues. We'll be back next week. Good night, everybody. 8 o'clock already, man. Time to